the road. So I pulled my phone out, hit my microphone, and I talked to it, and I picked it up. And then something else hit me, and then part of what I wrote down when I got home, none of it made sense, so I had to kind of decipher it and go on from there. But I was talking Sunday about the now faith and faith without works and all that good stuff. And I'm going to start reading in 2 Kings, 7th chapter, start with the 3rd verse. It says, "And there were 4 leprous men at the entering of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also.
Right.
Come on.
Now therefore come, let us follow to the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live. If they kill us, we shall but die. And they rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there." We can sit here and die,
Right. Come on.
or we can get up and do something,
Right.
and we still might die.
Right.
But Brother Zach, they chose to get up
Yes.
Right.
and do something.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of times when you're looking at adversity, it's easier to, you know, I don't know if I was one of the 4 lepers, I don't know, you know, I'm going to die one way or another. And they saw there might be a chance. They kind of like the song, you know, we're holding on to a hope that won't fade.
Right.
They knew that there was a possibility that they wouldn't die, but they knew also if they just sat there, Brother Casey, they was going to die.
Right.
Now, we're going back up to 1 Kings, 18th chapter, 21st verse. "And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between 2 opinions?
Yep.
If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him."
Right.
And to me, this is the most heartbreaking part of it. And the people answered not a word.
No.
I was, you know, they say that imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So when I was reading those scriptures, Brother Zach, I happened to think what our pastor would do. Instead of what would Jesus do, would be what would my pastor do. And I looked up the word follow. There's some action goes on with that, Brother Zach.
Right.
It says to move, to go, proceed, to walk, or proceed on alone. And then I really got into Brother Ben's back pocket on this one. The Hebrew word for follow, and thankfully they had it spelled where I could read it, wrong out. It doesn't mean just to passively follow someone, but to pursue them.
Right.
So Elijah was asking them, who you gonna follow today? What, you know, he asked, Jesus asked, I believe it's Peter, will you go away too? And Peter said, where can I go? I think about all the things God has done for me in my lifetime. Why would I go somewhere else?
Right.
It makes, I worked with a guy years ago, and he said, I don't make walking sense. I didn't know what that saying meant, but it didn't make no walking sense. So I understood what he meant, but and hopefully all this will tie together and it'll all make sense. As I said to start with, we talked Sunday about faith and faith without works. And, I even had that in my notes, but I didn't see We've already talked about it, so I don't even try to find it and read it all over again. But if we don't put some, I've heard some of the old preachers you say put some feet on our prayers.
Right.
You know, I remember a song years ago said with his hands and his feet. But if I'm sitting there doing nothing, my feet ain't doing no good.
Right. That's right.
Joshua, 3rd chapter. We'll start with the 11th verse. Before I read that, let's go back and think about when they was moving the ark one other time. And it troubled me when I read about Uzzah or Uzzah, ever how you pronounce his name. You know, Brother Zach, he was trying to help.
Right.
And I wrote in my notes, blindly following. You know, we got to be careful who we follow. And I told y'all a dream a little while back, and I'm going to tell the dream again because I think it bears repeating. It didn't make sense to me at the time, but Brother Bradley, I was walking, me and an uncle of mine that I used to hunt with all the time. I was walking through a valley, was out in the woods hunting, and the big valley just opened up, and this whole valley was full of snakes. There was a trail right through the middle, and because I trusted the one I was following, we went down this trail. And we almost made it all the way out. And my uncle, he made it out. And it was like all these snakes were asleep. I guess snakes sleep. I don't know what they do. They sleep real good if I see one. But just as I was about to make it out of that trail through that valley of snakes, there's one raised up and bit me right on my backside. I didn't think, you know, to me it's just a dream at that time, but fast forward about 30 years, and that's kind of like us, and he was following, doing what he thought was right.
Right.
And it beat him in the backside.
Yes, it did.
You know, sometimes we can follow and think we're doing everything right, but we need to know. The word says, "Know them that labor among you." You know, if I'm going to follow, I need to be able to trust who I follow.
Yes.
I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I follow my pastor, and I don't think twice about, you know, if he tells me something, I know God has told him to tell me something. I joked some of y'all Sunday about, you know, y'all somebody getting on your toes, and I said, well, I've got this stool over here, I'm propping my feet up. He has to get very deep to get to my toes. So. But we got to be careful who we follow.
Yes, thank you.
We got to know, and that's not even what I was going to preach about. I'm going to give you my title when I get through, and it'll all make sense then.
All right.
Bless you.
3rd chapter of Joshua, start with the 11th verse. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passeth over before you into Jordan. Now therefore take you 12 men out of the tribes of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And it shall come to pass as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of Jordan, that the waters of Jordan shall be cut off from the waters that come down from above, and they shall stand upon an heap. And it shall come, and it came to pass when the people removed from their tents to pass over Jordan, and the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as they that bear the ark were coming to Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bear the ark were dipped in the brim of the water, for Jordan overfloweth all his banks all the time of harvest. that the waters which came down from above stood and rose up upon a heap very far from the city, Adam. That is, beside Zaratan, and those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea failed and were cut off, and the people passed over right against Jericho, and the priests that bare the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan. And all the Israelites passed over on dry ground,
Yes.
until all the people were passed clean over Jordan.
Yes.
How much faith did it take?
All right.
Brother Zach, they had to have some confidence in the ones that's followed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But you think about the one in the front.
Huh.
Mm.
Faith, faith, faith.
It said Jordan overflowed its banks the whole time of harvest. They knew this.
Right.
I don't know how deep the river Jordan was, but it had to be pretty deep to be called a river.
Right.
And the Lord told them, as quick as those priests' feet touched the water. Brother Zach, can you imagine? I can just see when I'm there, he's like,
Yeah.
It'd be me.
okay,
You too?
you sure that he'd be asking, you heard him, didn't you? You ever ask somebody else? People says God don't speak. The problem is, and I've said it a million times, it ain't that he don't speak. A lot of times, Brother Bradley, he just says stuff we don't want to hear.
That's right. That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd been the one in the front with that pole on my shoulder, he said, quick as your foot hits the water go back up. I'm like, I need to be back here. You know, I'm going to follow you because that way I can back up.
All right.
I preached one time about the faith of a fish. You know, when Lord spoke to Jonah, Jonah said, I ain't going. He spoke to him again. He said, I ain't going. He gets on the boat because he still ain't going. And they finally throw him overboard. Lord spoke to the fish and go swallow Jonah. And the fish just went, got him. Swallowed him up. 3 days later, he spoke to the fish, go spit him out on the ground. He went right where he's supposed to go, spit him out on the ground. And what the word say? And the word of the Lord came to Jonah the second time.
That's it.
Why do we have to wait for the second time? And
Right.
I'm getting on my own. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I told Sister Tina Monday night. I guess Sunday night I was a hypocrite. Brother Ben talks about being raw and real. We might as well be. If he's going to be raw and real, I might as well be too.
Right.
You know, you stand up here and say, when God speaks, I'm going to do it.
That's right.
He didn't tell me to put my foot in the water, he's going to pass. He told me to take that sling off Sister Tina.
Right.
I'm like, come on, God, you know that. Anybody else ever do that?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And then when she got up and started taking it off, I could have stood up and walked under into these chairs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told me a while ago.
Right.
And I beat myself up over it because if I'd been like that priest in the front, okay, God said he's going to open the waters up, I'm going on out. If I'd been like that,
Right.
all I know now is she might not have been going for them MRI Saturday.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to call myself a hypocrite. That's being a hypocrite. If I stand up here and say, God speaks, that's what I'm going to do. Be careful.
Right. Yeah.
You might be the priest in the front.
Right.
That's it.
Come on.
That's
That's
in
good. That's good.
You know, it's easy. It'd be easy. I don't know how many there were. I kind of thought, I kind of pictured. In my line of work, I kind of pictured like he's carrying a coffin. You know, they got 3 or 4 on each side. And you know, when you put the coffin up on the lower device, that in the front, he has to work a little bit more than in the back. They just kind of follow along.
Right.
So if I'm that priest in the back, I ain't too much concerned about that. I'm gonna watch that priest in the front's feet.
Yeah.
And when them toes hit the water, I said, okay, I'm gonna step up tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna do it. Look at God work. And the whole time I didn't believe it.
Right.
Had to see it. Just like when he told me, go take it.
Right.
I know I'm not the only one talks herself out of doing something God says.
Right.
No, you are not.
But it hurt my feelings, Brother Zach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the title of my sermon is a long title. Sitting on the bank, waiting for the waters to part. Brother Zach, if them priests had them poles on their shoulders, and they got to the edge of the water, they's like, well, all right, God, you said you're gonna part these waters. When you do it, then we're gonna get up and move.
Wait.
Well, what did God tell them? He said, when your feet,
Come on.
when your foot
Mm-hmm.
hits that water,
Make a move.
Lord, help me tonight to quit second guessing.
Yes.
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 That's right.
Right.
I don't want to be the reason somebody don't get their miracle.
Right.
Right.
Come on.
I told y'all a few weeks ago about a gentleman we traveled and sang with some. And he felt it in his spirit, and I know he did, or he would never. And there's a young lady in a wheelchair. He got over there, and he's all but commanding her to get up out of the chair. And Brother Bradley, I'm sitting up here on stage playing and singing. I'm thinking, what is he doing? I mean, this is real.
Yep.
Well, guess what? So is God.
Right.
Yes.
And I look back on it now, I don't remember who this little girl was. For all I know, she's still in a wheelchair.
Yep.
Simply because I was sitting on the bank
Right.
waiting for the water to part.
Waiting on the water to pour.
Not sitting at the dock of the bay.
Yep.
Right.
I was sitting on the bank waiting for the water.
Right.
Put your foot out.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Step out into the water.
Come on.
And you know what? If the water don't part, He's going to help me swim in it.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, he will.
There's a scripture. Sometimes you got to get out in that water deep enough to swim in.
That's right.
Right.
But the same God,
Same very God.
the same God that can part the water,
That's it.
is the same God going to help me swim if He don't.
Yes.
Never let it down.
And if I drown trying, He's the same God going to take me to heaven.
Heaven again.
And I told that story about Brother Jeff Arnold here a while back about, God, I'm going to go pray for him. If you heal him, I'm not taking credit for it. And if you don't, I'm not taking blame for it. There again, I told the story. And where did I go?
Sitting on
Sad
the-
no.
Right back on the bank,
That's it.
waiting for the water.
Help us all, God.
Sitting on the sideline.
On the side.
I always hated to be on the sideline.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I always,
Yes.
they'd be picked teams. Growing up, I was always the smallest one out there. I'd be jumping. Brother Brad, I'd be trying to get up where you could see me. Pick me, pick me. They always pick the bigger guys. What they didn't know, I had a heart bigger than most all of them.
Right.
And that's what God, He don't look at my size. He
Right.
looks at what I got here.
That's right.
And the best way to increase that heart is to exercise that heart.
Yes, it is.
And to quit sitting on the bank.
Yes.
Mm.
That's good.
I don't like being on the sideline.
Nope.
Right.
I told somebody the other day about when I was playing softball years ago, was expecting Brother Ben. And I had the best batting average anybody on the team. I was the smallest one out there. I was the fastest one out there. Brother Bradley would come up, had a tournament, and the coach was a player coach. He goes and gets, what do you call him, a ringer? They get up there and just knock it over the fence. I sat in the dugout till 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't played yet. That was the end of my softball career. Because I don't like sitting on the sideline. I want to contribute.
Right.
You know, we live in a world today of everybody gets a trophy. All you got, if you just here, you just show up. Coach Phil Flynn years ago, he coached baseball and football. And I can't remember what it is, a holiday come up, he had baseball practice. 2 or 3 of his main players, they was out fishing or hunting or something. We ain't going, we ain't got school, we ain't going. He had 2 managers show up for practice. They didn't get a participation trophy, they got a suit because they showed up. They wasn't sitting on the bank waiting for the water to part.
That's it.
I'm sorry, I'm tired of sitting
Right.
on the
Yeah.
sidelines.
Yes.
I'm tired of sitting watching the water rise.
Right.
Well, all I gotta do is step forward.
Yeah.
He said the water was overflowing the whole season. And they knew it. And them priests, they had enough faith in who sent them.
That's right.
They put that pole on their shoulder and they just
Yeah,
stepped right
yeah,
on
like
out
the
there.
word said.
And that water just parted just like
That's
that.
it.
And they walked across on dry ground.
Dry ground.
I mean, that's just amazing. Just because it had to be the 2 in the front. They had to have, the 2 in the front had to have more faith than anybody. You know, when that in the back seen that foot,
Right.
look at us. And then they probably patting them on, look, hey, you go right ahead, I'm right behind you now. But I bet till that foot hit the water, that's like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be caught sitting on the bank
Right.
waiting for the water to part.
That's it. No more.
Sister Tina, when the Lord told me that Sunday night, my mind went to a story Brother Baldwin used to tell. And he had a broke shoulder, and they had it all wound up. And they brought him up front, and they was going to pray for him, and somebody, I think it's his sister, come up and unbuckled that sling. And this is years before we had MRIs and all this kind of stuff. So, he probably didn't have Blue Cross Blue Shield. They took the sling off and they prayed for him. He said he felt like some electricity went through him. Brother Bradley, he went to work the next day. He worked at a cotton gin. It had a big old motor that said he had to send somewhere. And he wasn't supposed to even be there. And the boss knew it. And he told this other man, he said, if you'll get that side, I'll get this side. You know why? His car is sitting on the bank waiting for
Yeah.
water to come.
That's it. That's good.
They picked this big old motor up, set it back in the truck, and the boss go back and how'd y'all do that? He said, well, God did it. And all this going, it took me, 3 minutes to tell that story. All this went through my mind in just a few seconds. And then, you know who sits right here? Yeah, look at you, just want to be. I'm sick of it.
Right.
Every time I've preached in the last few months, I've said what I wasn't going to do. Uh-oh. What have I told you growing up, son? Don't say what you ain't going to do. That's what you're going to do.
That's right.
So I'm going to tell you tonight, because like I'm going to try my best to do better.
All right. There we go.
Because I am tired
Me
too.
of sitting on the bank waiting on the water to fall.
That's it. That's it.
Somebody's got to make a move.
That's it.
There's a song out a few years ago. God don't. Why didn't you send somebody for this? Why didn't you send? What's wrong with you?
That's it.
I had a gentleman years ago, me and Sister Robin was over the youth department. I said, youth, my voice changed. That's pretty cool. And we had the teenage group. And he had some smaller kids. He said, you know, somebody really needs to have something to do with these smaller ones. I said, you're exactly right. Why don't you do it? Oh, no. You know what? He was satisfied sitting on the bank, waiting for the water to fall.
Right.
I'm going to do my dead level best to be better.
All right,
Yes,
amen.
yes.
And the only way to do it is just do it.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a commercial line.
Like Nike. Nike.
Just do it, just like Nike, check. So I'm gonna
Check,
this way.
check.
Left-hand.
That's right, me and Brother David special. We got us some left-hand check shirts.
Got it on my shirt.
I need somebody to work that on my cell phone. You look at emojis, they got the check marks. I need to figure out a way to make the check the other way. It won't do it. But that's not gonna keep me from getting off the bank.
Right.
You know, I've said it, and I ain't never heard anybody win the ball game sitting on the sideline.
Right.
I think we need to be like, what's that movie, Rudy? Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
That's it.
You ever play Red Rover when you was a kid?
Yeah.
I used to love it when they'd say send Jody right over, cause Jody was the littlest one out there. They may or may not have some teeth marks when I come through, but they wasn't gonna hold me. And if I can be that gritty for the world,
That's right.
Right.
How much more?
If I can be that gritty for the world, then if I'm living for God, I can't be doing this.
Yeah.
That's right.
Come on now.
No time.
Brother Zach, I believe if you'd step forward, that water would part.
Yeah.
Brother Bradley, you know, if you just step, I believe that water would part. But God didn't tell Brother Zach. He didn't tell Brother Bradley. He told me.
That's it.
You know what he said? He said, you do it.
Right, you do it.
Come on.
How many is ready to get off the bank and park the water?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's all I've got. I hope it's blessed you because I have trouble off my feet,
Thank you, Jesus.
up to my knees. But I promise you this, I'm going to do my best to do better.
Amen.
Because I don't want no participation trophy.
No way.
I want a trophy for doing something.
That's it.
You know, the word tells us, you know, the race is not for the swift, it's for the one just gonna keep on going. And we're all gonna make it. And I've heard people say, oh, I just wanna make it. I just wanna make it so I hear that gate click behind. I don't.
Bounce all the way back. One.
I wanna bounce off the back wall, hit the back side of the gate, then go back in the middle. I want hell to know that I'm not there.
Yeah.
God, come on. God.
You know, that old song that baptized Jesse Taylor. I want them to feel just that way. Heaven gained the soul and Satan lost a good right on him.
That's it.
But the only way we can do that is get off the bank.
That's it. Get in the water.
Put your foot in the water and watch it part.
That's it.
Let's all stand. I still haven't got used to this dismissing after I get through. I always want to turn it over to somebody else. I'm just so thankful
Yes.
that God gave me another chance
Yep.
Yes, Lord.
to get off the bank.
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Do we have any announcements tonight?
We will be having Adeline's baby dedication Sunday morning. Brother Bradley is gonna help assist me with that Sunday morning.
Can I baptize her?
We're looking forward to that. I want everybody to be in prayer for that.
Amen.
God has already started in on me with the message for Sunday morning that I look forward to.
Amen.
I don't know how in the living world that it's gonna be condensed down, but we're gonna give it our best shot.
Just take it out in the water, go to sport.
Yeah. Yeah.